So since the tests are so important, why don't we talk about the tests? How do you know how you did on a test? You look at the score. Now, most of us are used to looking at a raw score. A raw score is, there's this many questions in the test, you got this many right and this many wrong. It would say 18 out of 20, or 60%, or 90%, or 95%. Your spelling test pretty much was a raw score. There's no error of measurement in a raw score. There's this many questions, you got this many right or wrong. So you know exactly how you did. In these tests, though, you get what's called a scaled score. That's an artificial scoring system that the testing authority creates to convert a raw score into this pretend score. So you don't ever get to know what the raw score was. You only get the pretend scaled score. And so the first thing you need to know is that there's an error of measurement, because if I convert one number to another and it's not a straight conversion, there's going to be some measuring error, conversion error in my process. So if we look, for example, at the ACT, which is a test that many people take, and this is their technical manual, what their technical manual says is that the error of measurement in the ACT should be as close as possible to 2 points with a 68% certainty. What does that mean? That means if you got a score of 30 on the ACT, you really got a score somewhere between 28 and 32, they're pretty sure. But they're not really sure, because they're only 68% certain. They're only pretty sure. So when testing entities, or for example states, like Kentucky's one of the states that is, they were one of the first to implement Common Core, and they vigorously defend it across the country, and they point to tests like the ACT, and they say, our scores went up. So I went and looked at Kentucky's scores. They went up by 1/10 of a point over 5 years in a test where the error of measurement is plus or minus 2, which means the score didn't change. So the first thing you have to know in looking at these tests is, what's the error of measurement? And you need to remember that the scaled score doesn't mean anything. So for example, if you have kids and they took the ACT, the score is 20, 25, 30. They take the SAT, the score is 600, 700, 800 in a given subject area. Those show the same level of achievement, but obviously the numbers aren't the same. So the scaled score is pretend. It's just a pretend number that the people who created the test invented and then assigned a value of a level of achievement to it, but you don't know what that level is, because they never give you the raw score underneath. The next thing you need to know about the tests is, are they valid? And we hear about how, because these tests are very important, they're used